The opponents. First up is England. The boys in blue are looking to run it back to 1776 and tell them,
how many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
However, for the Three Lions, this is an all or nothing tournament. With many failed generations, losses, and penalties, in 2018, Gareth Southgate had absolutely revived the England national team supporters, taking them to a final and a semi-final in the last two international tournaments. This surely is the last tournament and last chance for the Three Lions to get victory. England have some of the biggest names in the world at every single position. Top-class goalkeepers, great defenders, an absolute boss of a midfield, and that guy, you may have heard of him before, Harry Kane up top, last World Cup's Golden Boot winner. They're going to be an absolute threat. However, they are a complete confident squad, and they get rattled very easily. The way the US are going to have to beat them is to not play their game, take it at them, force them to do things, and be very organized, let them frustrate. And the only thing really stopping England from winning this tournament is England, which historically speaking is a very high possibility. Iran, the most unexpected and underrated squad in the entire tournament,
and one of the ones best equipped to deal with the heat.
Iran's looking to get out of the group stage for the first time ever in their history. After an amazing 2017 qualifier, they were put in one of the hardest groups and almost made it out, but fell just short. They got a new coach, qualifier still went well, lost that coach, and now they are going to be led by the same coach, Carlos Correz again, a perfect love story to get this victory. Iran is fueled by a revolution led by women in their home country for freedom right now. This is a country that is extremely motivated to do well. Iran is going to sit very defensively, sitting in a low block and looking for an explosive counterattack led by Sadar Azmoun, Mehdi Taremi, and Yahanbash. The Iranians are extremely physical. They're going to be pushing and they're going to be very aggressive throughout the midfield, not giving anyone time on the ball, and they're going to be one of the most conditioned and organized teams of this tournament. Two things the US extremely have troubles dealing with is organized defense and extreme speed. So the US has to be on their A game, not letting the fullbacks get too high because that's going to expose the counterattack, and not getting frustrated and willing to pass the ball around and look for their opportunities and not just force it out of nowhere. Wales is another dangerous and underrated team that the US have to play. Last time the US played them, both teams kind of had a B team squad, and it ended up with Wales looking like the much more dominant team, and they also weren't playing with their star guy, Gareth Bale. Wales have made a surprise return to the World Cup after a very long absence and are looked to be led by the golden boy Gareth Bale himself to see how far they can go. They have absolutely great pace up top and scoring, and a very dominant midfield that plays them pretty talented. The weakness comes in their three-back defense that they like to play in. And this is where the US is going to have to expose them. But they have to be careful how they do it. They can't press too high because that's going to leave us with a lot of room in the back, which will let their counter and their speed between Gareth Bale and Daniel James to expose. They can't sit too far back deep because then we're playing into their game. The US have to tactically choose their moments when they want to attack.